So while you've got the leftover clay from the tea bowl, I thought you may as well use that up, and it's actually quite stiff. So normally I wouldn't advise rolling this back out, but for what you're going to make, it's really handy to have it a little bit firmer like this. So just kind of pat it together, or use your rolling pin just to squash it all together, and then you're going to roll it between a couple of guides or a couple of books if you're at home. And I'm going to make a little Japanese soap dish with legs. And this technique is called a sling or a hammock technique. So I'm just going to roll that clay out quite firmly, and what I want to do now is actually just kind of shape the edges by breaking the clay rather than cutting it. So I know roughly the kind of size that I want, so I'm just kind of pulling the clay, and you can see you get these nice ripped edges. So using the qualities of the clay like that to get that lovely ripped edge. So sometimes we can over fuss and over finish pieces when actually it's quite nice just to have something that's a little bit more organic like that. So the sling or the hammock can go into a bowl, it could go over a stool. What I've done, I've just used a jug, put a piece of, well, it's actually a tea towel over the top, and what I'm going to do is just kind of press that down to create the hammock, and then my piece of clay is going to lie in the hammock. So I'm just going to pull that up a little bit while I push that in. And then what I would do is actually leave that to dry in there overnight before I put the legs on. So I'm going to finish that off tomorrow. I decided to dry it off in the hammock. So that's leather hard now, and you've got those lovely organic ripped edges. So what I'm going to do is just take a damp sponge, and you don't want really sharp bits. It's nice to leave some of that organic shape, but for a functional item like this you don't really want it really sharp, so just kind of smooth that off. You could just take your finger and smooth around there, and then what I'm going to do is put some holes through for drainage. You could use, I've got a hole maker, but you could use a chopstick or a pencil just to push through. And I'm just going to make 3 holes. 1, 2, 3. That. Actually, I think I'll make a couple more. Go for it. I did throw some soap dishes actually, and the more holes the better, as long as you don't make the piece really weak. So I've made those holes in there. Then what I'm going to do is flip that over, just smooth where the backs of the holes are, and then what you want to do is make a coil or a couple of coils. You can do that in your hands or roll on the table out of the excess clay that you've got left, and I've just cut those coils then just to make some feet, and I'm going to scratch and slip. So just decide where you would like those feet. Like that. Scratch and slip those into place. plenty of slip